Yo guys, yes man, it's me, Double H, half for trying to stay alive. For this session, again, good day to everybody around here. For this week's discussion, we of course have to reflect on the Champions League quarterfinal draw. Of course, I've put a video out there. I've debated with the banter show, but again, I just want to have open up this discussion to the Sunday Hangouts panel as to what you feel about the draw. So we're going to be touching on that heavily and focusing on that. And then we're also going to look at Mourinho, the criticism of Mourinho, his press conference where he talked a lot, whether the criticism of Mourinho is right or whether people are just being foolish and are jealous of his greatness. And we're going to talk about this whole issue of Messi being the GOAT. So there also people say Lionel Messi is the greatest of all time because he scored 2 goals and had an assist against a team who are fifth and it's a team
Nah, he's got a point. He's actually got a point.
team who are fifth and lost to Bournemouth and Watford.
The champions.
But
Anyway.
because of that, he's the greatest of all time. Okay, I will get into that as well as how he disappeared in the 2014 semi-final and final. Okay, now before that, let's reflect. So, overall, are we happy with the draw or are we disappointed? Were there some fixtures that we would have liked instead?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really like. I don't want the English teams to meet up until like the semis, maybe, because maybe because we've seen Liverpool against Man City before. I would rather like in the semis if they got in and whatnot. But I just find it a little bit funny how Bayern Munich they came second, and the teams that they've got is Besiktas and now Sevilla, and like
He's completely right.
and
That's actually no. I didn't actually realize that.
it's crazy.
So I mean,
It's
so
crazy.
you come second and you pretty much have a passage to the semi-final. That's
Yeah, basically, yeah. And obviously Barcelona, they're gonna, go to the semi-finals as well against Roma.
yeah.
Then you've got who's the other team? Is it Real Madrid against Juventus?
Yeah.
Revenge
Yeah.
time, whatnot. But I think, since it's not a final, like Juventus can get a result because maybe over like what they've done against Barcelona, like over the 2 legs last season, what they've done against Barcelona, maybe they could do against Real Madrid, maybe. But it all depends really overall. But Man City against Liverpool, obviously that's going to be a game everyone's looking forward to. It's going to be loads of goals or whatnot. So I think that game could go either way. But I'm alright with the draw. But I just prefer the English teams to face each other within in the semis instead of quarterfinals. So yeah, that's my
All right.
thoughts.
So who else has thoughts on this?
I did.
Okay. Go on, man. Go on.
Thanks. I was a bit surprised by the draw because Barca will obviously win over the Roma, but I was expecting Man City versus Liverpool in the semi-final because, of course, Juve will most likely make what they did, make a draw at the Bernabeu and then win 2-0 at least.
That's pushing
Yeah,
it.
I don't know
that's
about that.
ridiculous.
Pjanic is suspended first game. That's
Okay.
I'm just being optimistic.
Let's bring in for football and give us your thoughts just briefly over the whole draw.
Well, the draw, I was honestly expecting Liverpool v City because we haven't seen an English team against an English team in the latter stages of the Champions League for the past 7 seasons. So obviously they're gonna try and bring that in somehow, some way. But my only problem with the draw is probably Real Madrid versus Juve. They've got Real Madrid have just got PSG and Juve, and they finished first in the group, I believe.
they finished second.
Oh, did they?
Tottenham
Sorry. My bad. But either way, like, it's clear that UEFA don't want them to win it for a third time. They're giving them two of like the toughest teams that they could have possibly.
But you remember last year, Madrid went through like the hard teams last year as well. So I wouldn't say they're trying to give him a hard draw, man, because last year.
But maybe he's saying that, look, man, twice in a row, fine. 3 times in a row, that just makes the competition look really, really bad and really amateur.
Yeah, it does. It makes it look so suspect.
Okay,
It does.
let me bring in Rahimski briefly. Just give us your overall thoughts on the draw.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I like the draws. What I like the most is that there's finally 2 Italian teams in the quarters. The last time that's happened, me and Abdul looked it up. It was literally like 2 decades ago. So
Oh wow.
it's pretty nice, man. I'm just happy we got Juve because I think the tie's over in Turin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get into that after. Okay. Abdul, overall thoughts on the draw?
If I'm looking from a neutral like standpoint, I think it's actually kind of boring because you look at Barca, Roma, let's be honest, it's over. Sevilla, Bayern, let's be honest, it's over. Juve, Madrid, we saw it a bunch of times. Like we saw Juve Madrid in 2014 in the
Yeah,
groups, and then
true.
we saw it in 2015, and then we saw it in the final. So it's not really that exciting. I think the only exciting tie is Liverpool City, but even then, we do see it in the Premier League, so
Yep.
it's not like it's something brand new. But what it does is like the semis are gonna be amazing. Like the ties in the semis are just gonna be unbelievable. So that's the only positive.
All right, Jujuma, overall
Uh,
thoughts on the quarterfinal draw?
I'm upset because we didn't get to see it's the same draws every time. I wanted to see. I want to see Liverpool. I want to see Liverpool against Juventus or something fresh. I want to see something fresh.
Yeah.
It's boring if we see the same teams. Like we're having EPL teams facing each other. I mean, what's the point? I mean,
Guys, are we gonna ignore the
disappointed.
fact? Are we gonna ignore the fact that Juju man went back to Bayern last week and today they lost their first game in 4 months?
No.
Look, as I said again, man, if you're a Bayern fan and you want this Champions League, man, I would advise that you get Juju man as far away from your club as possible because this dude, I mean, Juju man, if you dare say anything positive about Nigeria, I will literally destroy your soul. So you have to be very. I mean, like we can laugh now, but come June, you're banned from all hangouts, man. So sorry. Okay. So look, basically, my thing is that. So would you guys, because I think I'm getting a lot of sentiments of like, okay, same team, semi-final. So let's just say we had Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus, which means that okay, you still have Liverpool, Man City, but then you had, let's say, Roma, Sevilla. So would you have liked much more of the heavy hitters to have gone away? So we really have like 2 heavy hitters in the semis. Would you have preferred that?
Well, I would have preferred that mixed up, like what Juju said, like Liverpool against Juventus, something like that.
True.
We haven't seen anything like that before. So maybe not heavy hitters straight away, but mix it up a bit more because the games we've seen, like Madrid, Juventus, Liverpool, Man City, we've seen them before, man. We've seen them before.
No. But okay. But my response to that is that, in my view, I think the Liverpool Man City. I think we're going to see 2 amazing games.
Yeah. No,
So I mean, for me. My thing is that I don't want a. I hated both Real Madrid Atletico finals and I hated the Bayern Munich Dortmund final. I hate finals against 2 teams from the same league because that's not what the whole point, the whole beauty, the romance of the Champions League is. Wow, Juventus against Real Madrid, Bayern Munich against Barcelona. That's what you want because you want 2 different styles, 2 different leagues together in a final.
Yeah.
If it's in a quarterfinal, okay, semi-final. If it's in a quarterfinal, it's fine. And also, the key thing is that we're gonna get 2 great games. We're gonna have 2 absolutely great, amazing games of amazing attacking football. And my thing with Real Madrid is that, yeah, we've seen it before, but my thing is this. I keep reminding people, for Real Madrid haters out there, if you don't want 3 times in a row, you take them out before the final. Because I keep reminding you people, if you allow Real Madrid in a final, we're seeing 3 in a row.
Exactly.
So I believe that Juventus have a much better chance of taking them out. Remember what happened in 2015? They have a much better chance of taking Real out. I'm not saying they will, but they have a much better chance of taking them out in 2 legs than in a one-off. And if you don't want Real Madrid to make a mockery of this competition, you take them out before the final.
I was actually talking to some Juve fans, and they were happy that they face us now because my friend that supports you, he just told me flat out, like, I'd rather lose now than lose in the final again. So if we're good enough, we're gonna beat you.
100%. Seriously, Atletico right now, they are losers. I mean, you lost twice in a final to the same team. That's incredible. Like, I wouldn't be able to live life if that happened to me. So
I'd rather know if I'm good enough now than go to another final and get my heart broken. So from a Juve point of view, it's not bad. It's not a bad drop.
And also, guys, let's just be real right now. respect Juventus. Giorgio is one of my favorites for footballers. But can we please cut the crap? Can we cut this crap sentiment of let's give Buffon his final parade? Buffon has done.
again.
No,
not
wait, guys.
again,
Let me.
man.
Let me
That
write.
rhetoric is
Two
so
things.
annoying.
First thing is this. Wait. First thing is this. Buffon
not
should
charity,
have no business in the Italy squad. That for me is a complete and utter crap. Second thing is that this is football. This is competition. This isn't some kind of a sweet, lovely story. Buffon is too old. That's the first thing. So, and Juventus are not winning the Champions League. They're not giving Buffon the perfect goodbye story. I'd love to have it happen. I mean, this is what I was saying with the banter guys, because we all grew up with Buffon. Ever since I watched football, I remember Buffon playing at Parma and so forth. So it would be a nice thing, but that is what would be nice. What is realistic is
He's not retiring though. Apparently, he wants to play for another two.
Oh,
like,
no,
two
he's
years.
allowed,
like,
man.
see, Abdul,
No, I
it's
saw you
sad crap
retiring this
I just find very.
I'm
very,
dead serious. I'm dead serious. Apparently, he wants to play the Euros now. He wants to play the Euros. In
I
2
keep
years.
thinking.
That's just sick.
I think, like-
okay, wait. Let's
Hey,
just get
it's
on
funny.
point. Wait. Let's just remain on point. So, we're saying that Roma have no chance whatsoever.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay. Let's hear. So, how do they avoid lubrication in both legs?
Well, I swear they played Barcelona in the group stages for the past 5 years. I think twice.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't remember them getting lubricated once. The
They
only
lost
time
7-0. They lost 7-0 in 2015, 2016.
I think that was against Bayern.
Judgment, do not laugh.
I think that was against Bayern Munich. Though. But I mean,
No, the year
no.
before that, they
Barcelona.
lost 7-1 to Bayern. Then they lost, I think, 6-0 or 7-0 to
Okay,
Barca.
Abdul, let's be real. Roma, if you're gonna lose respectfully.
exactly.
I don't want an 8-0 aggregate score in a Champions League quarterfinal, because guys, let's have some respectability. This is the Champions League. I do not want to see an 8-0 in a Champions League quarterfinal.
Honestly, Valverde's Barca are not like that. Like, I don't see it being ugly.
I hope
Barca will
no.
probably
I
win,
hope
though.
not. Abdul, I hope not. I hope not. Okay, so
And one thing about Barcelona, they have lost one game the entire season, and no one is talking about this. This guy's my goat, undefeated
No, they've lost one game.
in the league. In the league,
Okay,
they
no,
haven't lost.
and also that was a two-legged tie that they still won. They
Oh, yeah,
still
it's
went
true.
through.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay, so basically my thing. So we put that to one side. Sevilla, as I said in my review of it, they'll cause them issues, but not enough. I think Sevilla will cause more issues than Roma will cause Barcelona. Agreed?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But not enough.
Where's
I
the
don't
first
agree.
leg?
I don't agree.
Where's the
I mean,
first leg? of the
Abdul,
game?
doesn't really matter.
I mean, because if it's at the Allianz Arena, then it will be over before it starts.
Wait. And why are people hyping up Ben Yedder? He's a nothing player. I mean, he missed the one.
Oh my
If
God.
it was easy, if it was something that was an easy goal. I mean, he's a nothing player. Just got lucky. Smalling doesn't have a brain, but it's nothing special. Nothing special.
Okay. So let's just quickly change gears very briefly. Let's switch to Mourinho. So
Oh gosh.
now
We're not going to talk about the other game.
Yeah. No. What's about Mourinho? Uncle Mo. So basically, Uncle Mo has come under heavy criticism. Now, let me just put this question out there, and I need you guys to answer this very carefully, because if you don't, I'll boot you out of the hangout, because I'm a dictator. Is Uncle Mo finished? Is he a fraud?
No,
He's not a
No.
fraud. But
Not a fraud, but he's
because
finished.
you know
yeah,
what?
but
Okay.
Mourinho
I'm going to go to Jujuman and then A1. Jujuman.
Because Mourinho is 100% right. I mean, some of those players in Man United they're not good enough. It's just facts. I mean, they had all the chances. Mourinho did his homework. Like sacking Mourinho one time, Smalling into world class. He's no good. He's no good. It's just and he's right. He has every right to criticize every player in that team. I mean, that's his
Oh,
job.
my days.
And if anyone has a problem, then I think they should leave or change teams, because Mourinho is 100% right. I don't know why people are criticizing him. I mean, we're living in a PC age where people are not supposed to be criticized. I mean, I support Mourinho. He's 100% correct.
Okay,
Oh,
A1.
my days. No, alright, cool. Basically, you like what Juju said. Juju said about Smalling, comparing about Smalling. Cool. he bought Bailly, defender, cool, and he bought Lindelof. The guy is not playing Lindelof. Why is he not playing Lindelof when you bought him? So I don't want to hear any excuses about, oh, he's got no money, this and that. He's buying players, but he's not getting the best out of them. And I know some fans are saying, oh, because he's got too much deadwood, yada yada. And if you tell Mourinho who's your deadwood, like who's the players that you don't want, you'll chuck out. I guarantee you, players like Martial will go.
Did Mourinho buy
Martial
players that he wanted? Did he buy players that he wanted?
Yes.
Mourinho, did he buy players that he want?
Yeah,
he bought Lukaku.
He bought Lukaku.
Yeah,
bought Lindelof. Wait, Pogba. There's only wait. There's only one player.
Are you all talking about Uncle Fraud? Are you talking about Uncle?
Mohammed, watch your tongue. Watch your tongue.
Cool. There's only one player that he didn't buy, which he got angry about, and that was Perisic.
Guys, let's be honest, man. Mourinho's finished.
No, he
man.
didn't
That
want-
rant. That
No,
that
he's not
rant.
finished.
Something.
No, he's not finished. It's the
That
players.
rant.
The
I
players
mean,
are not
guys,
good enough.
I saw a man that was scared. I saw a man that had fear in his eyes, man.
Well,
Oh no, okay.
What
My
I
thing
saw-
is this.
What I saw.
What the hell is going on?
Okay. Very briefly, so we'll get some of the guys. So basically, my thing with this is that what if? So after the Christmas, what if, come the end of the season, were May 2018, we're about to rev up for the World Cup, and United end up winning the FA Cup? Is the criticism still valid?
Wait, no, we can't use the FA Cup. We cannot use the FA Cup as a.
Hold up.
Wait. One at a time. Okay, I'm gonna go to Mohammed, then football. Mohammed.
Is this the same half hope that's been dissing the FA Cup?
I never have.
Yeah, yes you have.
What?
It's out there.
Mohammed, you're supposed to make a statement, not to insult me. Okay. Okay. Football. Let's go to football.
We cannot use the FA Cup as to paper over the cracks for Mourinho.
Thank you.
It's a trophy.
Because for Wenger, we all know he's finished, and we know that the FA Cups are for to paper over the cracks. For Mourinho, it will be the same thing. He's finished.
And look, think about it. Cool.
He's
When
not
Mourinho came
finished.
in, wait. When Mourinho came in, what was the expectation for Man United? To be challenging
Minimum
and
Premier
potentially
League
winning
or
titles.
Champions
Premier
League.
League. It's happened last year and this season as well.
Wait.
Mourinho's in. Wait. Please, Juju. Please.
All right.
Cool. Every time, summer. Oh, Man United, they're gonna win the league. They're gonna challenge.
Wait, guys.
Wait. Let's A1 finish. We have to go one at a time. A1.
They win first couple games. They look strong, whatnot. Especially this season when they won 4-0 or 5-0, whatever. People saying they're gonna win the title. Everything goes downhill. And you're trying to say him winning the FA Cup will be a good season, or
A1, you know what he's doing? He's lowering expectations. That's what he's doing.
No.
He's lowering expectations.
Have hope. I have a quick question for you.
Okay. Rahimski.
If you have the second highest wage bill squad in the league, are you gonna play Fellaini long balls at home against Sevilla in the knockout game? That you have to win?
Wait, Judgment, chill. Let me just respond to that. My thing is that, and this is echoing what I said in the video. It doesn't matter how much Mourinho spends, as long as Pep is in that league with Man City, they are never sniffing that Premier League. Guardiola will win. Wait. Let me land. As long as Guardiola has the bottomless pit of cash with that Man City team, they're winning every Premier League title until he leaves. That's the first point. That's the first point. Chill. Second point is this is what I said in my video. This is a bad fit. It doesn't matter how much money that Mourinho spends, it's a bad fit because Mourinho doesn't work well with younger players. And when I look at the when I look at that player,
one who bought the likes of Pogba.
Yeah,
Who
Pogba,
bought the likes
Bailly.
of-
but wait. Let me respond. This is a different market we're living in. This is a different world. People aren't running to play for Manchester United anymore. They just aren't. And for better or for worse, a young player who, if it's Guardiola or Mourinho, you're going to go to Guardiola. And even if I believe that Mourinho is a far more superior tactician to Guardiola, if I was a young player, or if I'm advising a young player, I would say go to Guardiola. Don't go to Mourinho, go to Guardiola. So when you're thinking that the best young players out there, the most technically gifted, are all rushing to play for Guardiola, that means it decreases the pool to which Mourinho can pick out of. And more so, remember, Mourinho is a defensive manager. This isn't 2006 anymore. It's 2018, and people aren't defending anymore. Everybody wants to be an attacker now. Everybody wants to be a ball playing the defender and so forth. So the kinds of players that Mourinho needs, the men, the soldiers, the troops that he needs to really do damage, he can't do damage because they just aren't there anymore.
Yeah,
But Double H, what you're actually doing.
Abdul, one more, and to add, let me check. Man United.
So Mourinho is very limited.
Wait. Okay, let's go to Jujuman and then Abdul. Jujuman.
Yeah, the last time I checked, United is second in the team, and they're winning. It looks like they're going for the FA. These guys are winning trophies every season.
The FA Cup. This is the same Juju the man.
Wait, let Jujuman land.
Actually, a mid-table team, even though we win FA Cup.
No. And before Mourinho joined, these guys used to finish 6th and didn't even get top 4. Now they're second. They're winning trophies.
And that's football heritage. Football heritage right there.
And he doesn't even have the heritage.
Okay. Let's switch. Okay, Abdul.
Yeah, honestly, I think what you're saying is actually disrespectful to Mourinho, because what you're saying is pretty much no matter like how much money he has, he's never going to be able to challenge City. And I think that's disrespectful.
Yeah. But then no. But especially Abdul, again, you are missing my point. It's almost a saying that almost everybody knows. All because you have money. Money can't buy everything. Even if you gave me $1 billion, but I cannot actually get the players I want, it doesn't really mean anything. All that matters are getting the right players. It's not about spending 300 million on. Do you know there's such a thing as spending 200 million on wrong players? Spending 200 million on trash.
Yeah, of course.
Money doesn't always equate quality. Okay, that's not how it works.
Yep.
A dude called Philippe Coutinho went for 160 million. That guy is worth about 20 million. So it's like that's so again, like spending all this money doesn't mean anything. Like Guardiola is in a very privileged position. Let's be real right now. He's a great coach, but let's be real. Guardiola has the privilege of, based off his success that Messi gave him, based off the success that the Bayern system gave him, people are rushing to play for him, and Guardiola can literally mold a team in his image because he has a wider pool to pick from than Mourinho.
So you're trying to tell me
that's
you're trying to tell me
that's 100% true.
you're trying to tell me that a footballer has no respect for Mourinho. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Okay. Let me respond. I'm saying to you that in 2018, the mindset of younger footballers and most footballers right now is very different to the mindset of footballers back in 2010.
Okay, when you say younger footballers, what age? What age would you say? Like from what age?
Let's say 24, 25, 26. The mindset of the 24, 25, 26. Yeah, but 24, 25, 26. Maybe 23, maybe 27 is the cutoff point. Because remember, back in 2010, you were still having guys. We hadn't really maxed out this very midfield heavy football world that we're living in. I'm not saying that look, football evolves. So I'm not going to be like a hit and say, oh no, I wish it was like the 90s and 90s was so good. No. Everything evolves, everything changes. And again, this is a criticism of Mourinho. If you're a great manager, you have to evolve with the times. This is what's made Ferguson so good. He evolved with the times. So this is a time right now where you've got to press. Your defenders have to be good on the ball. You have to be much more creative. You've got to be much more dynamic. Everybody has to be good on the ball. This whole tactical, defensive, let's keep it a 1-0, maybe doesn't work right now in 2018. And the thing with Mourinho is that those players that you could use to get your 1-0s, to get your clean sheets, they're not there anymore. Because Smalling and Lindelof, these dudes ain't giving you a clean sheet.
But he bought Lindelof. He bought him.
Exactly.
Like, he scouted
But the problem is, did he have an option? Did he have an option?
They did have options. Come on, it's Man United, man.
I actually think
that's terrible, man.
That he get. I don't think he gets the players that he wants.
Koulibaly was
He's
available.
not happy with
Manolas was available.
Yeah,
and he
but-
still
but-
went out and got Lindelof.
No, but I don't think he gets the options because he's.
He does. Look.
He's
Look,
not
there's only
happy
one
with the
player.
players. Why would he get players and then he's upset with them? He doesn't get
Because it's
players
his
he
own
wants.
fault. It's his
Yeah, I
own
mean,
fault.
so he didn't
No,
want Pogba. He didn't want Pogba because he's upset with Pogba
Are we
right
now
now.
calling Mourinho? He doesn't. Are we calling Mourinho stupid? I mean, he wants players. He doesn't get them, and he just has to deal with. Either you take a player or
No. Look, there's only one player that he wanted I didn't get, and that was Perisic. That's it.
Perisic, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Let's just move slightly from this now. I want to now talk about this Messi topic now. So
He's not the GOAT. He is not the GOAT.
look, football. The guy on your avatar is the dude, but again, nobody seems
Nah,
to
yo,
get that.
chill, yo.
The guy on your avatar is actually
one
the main
one
dude.
thing.
No, gentlemen, let me. Can I please present the topic? Thank you.
Yeah.
Now,
You brainwashed a lot of people in
okay, now let me now say this now. Okay, wait. Let me now say this right now. Okay, basically, it's a very different, but maybe I will probably go into this in a lot more detail in a video I will drop about Messi specifically. But let me just say this right now: we're living in a different age right now. This is an age in which it's a very reactionary age. And my thing is that
He's not wrong.
I find it troubling. I find it troubling that I see people like Gary Lineker, Rio Ferdinand, all these football pundits who are saying the greatest of all time, the best player that has ever played. Do you know what it means to be called the greatest? Now, there's very different.
Win the world.
There's very different between being called the best and greatness. Like greatness, we're talking about Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Roger Federer. Greatness is a very specific word that is literally on a whole different level. And to say someone is great off the back, scoring 2 goals and an assist against a team who are fifth.
No. Don't say that because that's incorrect. First of all, Gary Lineker, Rio Ferdinand, all these guys have always said Messi's the best ever, so they didn't change their opinion off playing it off Messi scoring 2 goals against Chelsea. Anyone that thinks Messi is the best ever, hasn't changed they didn't think that after the Chelsea game. Let's be honest. It's not he scored 2 goals against Chelsea. We already knew he could do that. Let's be honest. There's nothing game changing.
But Abdul, my issue is that why even make the statement after the Chelsea game? A team who are fifth and a club who are in disarray with a manager who wants to
because it was a big game and he had a good performance.
How is it a big game against a team who are fifth?
Let's be honest,
Champions of England.
But Barca Chelsea is one of the best rivalries in Champions League history. It is a big game.
That is a false equivalence. I hate when guys say that. Oh man, Chelsea have always given Barcelona issues. No, this Chelsea team. Last I checked, Cahill doesn't look like John Terry. Last I checked, I don't see Giroud. Isn't even in the same existence as Drogba. It's a totally different team. And that team who are much more physical, much more rough, much more from the streets, did give Messi a hard time because they were a lot stronger and a lot tougher and better at defending. But it's a totally different Chelsea team that, I do expect Messi to score a hat-trick against these guys. I mean, what's Christensen? Rudiger? Really?
Chelsea were bad in 2012 when they beat Barca. They were 6th or whatever. It's I just don't think, honestly, I don't think people are making these statements because of one game. It's just normal. When a player steps up in a big night or whatever, people are gonna they're gonna praise him, just similar to Ronaldo in the Champions League.
I think the issue we have with Half Hope is that he puts Messi and Cristiano in a bracket where it's disrespectful. He says Cristiano's the greatest goal scorer.
Yeah.
Wait. Let Mohammed finish.
Double H get away with?
He says Messi is the greatest club player of all time. Just come out and say the top 5 players, maybe in the top 10 brackets.
Well, okay, HH, quick question. Define greatest.
That's a great question.
Who have done it internationally,
Okay,
level, and
now I love. Wait. I love this question. Okay, Rams. Now, greatness, in my view, is.
Don't say it.
Wait. Let me.
Alice,
let me. Okay, thank you. Now, greatness comes from two things. Two things. It comes from what you do against adversity, degree of difficulty, and moments. You see, what I saw, and people, again, this is just my definition of greatness. What I saw Zidane do in 2006, especially against Brazil, I was like, I am witnessing greatness here. What I saw Ronaldo do in 2002 after a knee injury, where everybody thought that this guy's career was finished, what I saw him do and how I saw him come back when everybody thought he was done, I was like, no, that's greatness. So, and when you look at what Maradona did in 1986, what he did for Napoli in those 2 seasons, I said, you know what, That's greatness. So greatness is when you achieve something that is like, wow, this is a degree
you're
of
talking about
difficulty.
performances
This is
based.
adversity. People didn't think that you were able to do this. What you're walking against, the
There has to
odds
be-
you're walking against, and you're able to rival against those odds. That is greatness. Now, I ask you guys
Exactly.
this: has
Wait,
Messi
so
ever
you never
done
seen a
things that
Messi
you had said that,
performance?
man, against the odds? People didn't think he was going to do this, and to be able to do this in such circumstance.
Exactly.
Because-
Against
You
the
don't
odds.
Wait. Let me finish. People seem to forget. Let me remind people again. Zidane was retired. France were not going to qualify for the World Cup. They called him out of retirement. He helped them qualify when they were not going to qualify. And he led them to the final of the 2006 World Cup and was arguably one of the best players in that, behind Cannavaro. Need I remind people, again, just to remind people, the knee injury is the worst injury you have in football. It is the worst injury you can have, especially when you're an explosive player who relies a lot on power, speed, and accuracy like Ronaldo did. You don't come back from a knee injury. So the fact that Ronaldo
Double H,
came
how
back
about-
from a knee
Christ.
injury,
That
ended up
knee
as
injury,
top
every
scorer
time,
in the
every
2002
time.
World Cup, that is
That's true,
greatness.
So Messi and Ronaldo dominating football for 12 years is not greatness.
Okay, Abdul, that's a perfect thing. Let me rest.
Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. Look, we've seen like in today's world. In today's world, there are a lot of great players. We have Hazard, we have Neymar, we have a lot of great players. But Messi and Ronaldo literally treat football like a video game. Like you watch a game, Messi scores a hat trick, Ronaldo scores a hat trick in a Champions League game, and you're like, you don't even care. It's like you're used to it now. That's not greatness.
But you see, Abdul, see,
Level of difficulty.
wait. Let me just respond to Abdul first, because again, that is a great point. Because on the face of it, when you look at their stats and what they've done, you should look back and say, you know what, that is greatness. Because I mean, to be consistent for like almost a decade is bloody great. To be scoring this amount of goals for nearly a decade in different clubs, man, that's bloody great. But what I stop from giving them the full thing is that
Their country.
World Cup
wait. Okay, let me land. It's like two things. First of all, it's I've seen you guys internationally, and it's not looked good. I've seen you guys look completely different from how you look like in your club. Wait, let me finish, man. And the second thing is that this is just again my view, because I see it comes so easy from you. It doesn't have the same effects on me. Because when I see Messi for Argentina, I see this guy struggling. And I'm like, yes, struggle and come through it. When I see Cristiano for Portugal, I see him struggling and sweating and say, yes, struggle, sweat, and come through it. Because the reason why I keep on using the World Cup and international football, and I know you guys are against it, but the reason why I use it is that it's hard. It's difficult because...
Can I say something?
Wait. Let me just... This last point, and then I'll give you guys the floor. Because you're not playing with a team week in, week out, because you don't know this place, because you don't know the system, it is very hard. So when you're going into a World Cup, it is difficult. And that requires a different kind of skill and a higher skill level to be able to say, man, I don't know these guys. These guys don't pass me the ball they need to use. They don't do the same runs. But you need to alter yourself and raise your game to a different level to do what Ronaldo did in 02, to do what Zidane did in 06, to do what Badri did in 1994, to do what Cannavaro did in 2006. Okay, I said I was going to go to football.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
the reason why I cannot put Messi as the best of all time is because the level of difficulty. If you look at there's barely any teams in that La Liga bar Atletico and Real Madrid. That's one. So when Messi scores 5 against Eibar, 4 against Leganes, you can understand why I take it for granted. Now, level of difficulty is a big thing. Now, if you look at the 86 team that Maradona won the World Cup with, can any of you in this chat right now tell me one player by Maradona in that team that could be considered legendary?
The front three of that team was actually a very famous front three.
Okay.
Secondly,
Abdul, who are they? Name them. Name me
one
I can't
player.
name them, but one sec. If we move 50 years from now, guys, if we move 50 years from now, no one's gonna remember Aguero and Higuain.
Yes, they will. Abdul, they will remember one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. See, Abdul, don't do that. See, Abdul, that is false. Abdul, don't tell me that you don't remember perhaps one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. Don't do that.
how many legendary players are on Argentina?
No.
this is the best
Abdul, your
Argentina
point
team ever.
was You
Higuain
won't
was the best
remember
goal
any of the
scorer of
players.
our generation.
Nobody remembers anybody from that 86 team. Sergio Aguero is one of the best Premier League strikers that.
No, but Double
Argentina are
H.
the best ever they've ever been right now.
France in 06 had a bunch of legendary players with Zidane. 02 Brazil had a bunch of legendary players.
Can I respond? Can I respond to that? No, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that? Then why couldn't they qualify for the World Cup? If these players were so legendary, why is it that they needed Zidane to come out? Because everybody knew that it doesn't matter about having names. And even when you watch the matches, because remember, those same legendary players, what did they do in the 2008 Euros? Tell me. when Zidane left, those same players, Henry, Vieira, so forth, what did they do when it came to the 08 Euros? So,
Double H, what did Argentina do without Messi in qualifying? 7 points without Messi, because when he got suspended and he was injured, 7 points.
Okay, fine. So Abdul, does that not mean that he's the GOAT? So all because
so I'm just showing you Messi for Argentina is their best player and
hold on, guys. There's a gray area. Let me clarify this gray area that both of you guys are having right now. For me, the best player I've ever seen in terms of the most complete player I've ever seen was R9 before the injury.
Exactly.
But listen, that doesn't make him the best player of all time. There's a huge difference there because you talk about longevity.
Wait. Let's one guy speak. Right?
Even though R9 is the most complete forward we've ever seen, that doesn't automatically make him the greatest of all time. I don't think a lot of people would say that Maradona is superior to R9 in terms of those assets of football. But what Maradona has done and what Messi have done, they've achieved more in the game. They've achieved bigger titles for different teams. And even though R9 was crucially injured, I mean, he declined after that. Yeah, that's just a fact of the matter. Even though he's the best player we've ever seen, his career didn't pan out that way. So
there's one thing that we get away with, by the way. I mean, from what I'm sensing here, I'm sensing that people are asking CR7 to win a World Cup, which I think is ridiculous. We look at Portugal before CR7, they played, I think, 7 or 8 major tournaments. Portugal with CR7, they played 8 major tournaments. So they doubled how many times they participated in tournaments with CR7, and they actually won their first one. And they played 2 Euro finals with CR7, their only finals, and they played a World Cup semifinal. So, and CR7 is their all-time greatest goal scorer. He has the record for that, and he has many goals in major tournaments. So I don't know why is CR7 supposed to win a World Cup here? Like,
yes, he's because Portugal have one of the best squads. Now, wait. I want to let everybody speak. Chill. I want to let everybody speak. Chill. I want to let everybody speak. Okay, so A1, give us your thoughts on this. A1.
Oh, Messi.
Yeah, so basically, are we right? Are we wrong about Messi, the GOAT? Are we too hard? So, what's your thoughts on it?
It's just like, obviously, you have younger fans who haven't seen what like players like Ronaldo or Maradona have done, but what you're seeing, what Messi's doing, compared to other players, and how long he's been doing it for. He's been doing it for like since 19, like, and how old is he now? He's like 31, 32, whatnot. And you're seeing how consistent he is. I'm not surprised that people are saying that he's the GOAT. Like, it's not something that you should be arguing. Well, obviously you have your argument, but it's not something that you should be surprised about. You're thinking about why are they saying this, whatnot? Because this guy has been doing it consistently. Ronaldo, he's great as well, but again, after like 2002, he started to decline. If you get what I'm saying. Then obviously, same. I don't know about Maradona. I didn't see him play in it, but Messi, I ain't lie to you. For me, like, he's like the best player I've seen.
All right. Okay. So
that's my opinion, innit?
Okay. Let's ride with Jujuman. Okay, things over here. Okay, Mattis, your thoughts on this thing?
Well, I have to agree with everything you say. I think it's pretty easy. I think it's a little difficult to do with a club, but it's very hard in the national level. I agree with what you said, Double H. I think it's the terms of all the different systems, tacticals. I think Messi Ronaldo is not accustomed to it. Because when you look at, say, Euro 2016, it was more of a team effort, team win than Ronaldo won the European Championship.
Yep.
So,
since when do players win by themselves?
Wait, let him land.
Thank you. I agree with that. I think you have to be considered one of the greatest if you can help your national team to win some major tournament, say 86 or 2002, or And I remember watching.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Cool. What about in the group stage of Euro 2016 when I saw Ronaldo? He scored against Hungary. He scored against who else did he score against? Like he scored the goals that
In the
helped him get.
semis.
Got a hat trick
Hungary.
against Hungary to
Yeah.
beat them
It
in the
was
tournament.
more of a new system, really.
What
Cool.
system?
I didn't see him in the final though. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Can you make this
Mohammed,
clear?
He was injured. He was injured.
I don't care. Mohammed. Okay, he's thinking it's okay. Okay, Osman, then give us your thoughts. Is Messi the GOAT? Yes or no? Okay, Rahimski.
Well, first of all, I'm new here.
Okay,
sure.
then speak, man. Speak if you're new. I don't give a.
Okay. Present.
What?
Well, first of all, I'm new here, so hi everyone.
You don't. No,
Second of
Osman.
all-
That's not how it works. We don't say hi
Can
here
you guys hear me?
when we're not cordial.
Okay.
We're here to talk about football. If you don't talk, I will butch your ass out. Now, please talk. Is
Can you
Messi the
guys
GOAT?
hear me?
Yes or no?
First of all, Messi, yes, is the greatest of all time. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Rahimski.
Guys,
Oh, go ahead, Mo. Go ahead.
That's great. I said he's the
Nah,
greatest
yeah,
of all
Rimsky,
time.
you go
Okay,
first.
Mohammed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Messi's already top 5 in that bracket already, but just to submit his place as the greatest of all time, he needs that World Cup medal. Let's be honest.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I think
Yeah.
I think what Mohammed says is actually is he hit the nail on the head. Like I have no problem with anyone saying Messi's not the greatest. But Double H, you don't recognize Messi and Ronaldo as greats. That's the problem I have.
That's a
Like,
problem.
That's so
See, that's
disrespectful.
what called. Because I told you. See, that's what called great. It's a very, it's a very delicate word for me. I don't throw that word around willy nilly.
I just can't take it. I just can't take you seriously if you think Zidane is a better player than Messi. It's just
No,
that's
see,
he's
Abdul.
not. Like,
See, Abdul, I
Grande
never
La
said that. No, okay, wait. Okay, before I go to Rahimski, let me just be very clear here. Messi, in my view, is perhaps the most talented player that I've probably ever seen. As far as a myriad of talents, still the best player I've ever seen is still Ronaldo. That's just me. But as far as talents of different talents, footballing wise, playmaking wise, passing, goal scoring, Messi's talents are ridiculous. But best isn't the same as great. Great is a state of mind. Great is a psyche. Great is what you do against difficulties. Greatness is psychological. It's a psychological thing. It's like what Ali did against Foreman. Ali had no business beating George Foreman. Ali defeated Foreman because of his state of mind. And his state of mind is what made him great. Not just his skill as a boxer, but his state of mind. So let me bring in Rahimski.
For me, I'm gonna stand by the fact that R9 pre his injury was the most deadly forward I've ever seen, because he was dumpstering defenders like Nesta, like Maldini, like greats, all-time greats. But the thing is, his career didn't pan out in the sense to make him a top 3 all-time player. Even though he's the best player I've seen in that moment in time, and probably will ever see, his career hasn't panned out that way. So I can't put him in my top 3. Whereas you have a guy like Maradona. The thing is, you guys bring up 86 as a tournament. That's fine and well, but what
Everyone
about
forgets
90?
the hand of God.
Hold on. What about 90, where he literally beat the hosts in the semis and then lost by 1 goal to the greatest German team of all time, and he was man of the match that game? Like you have to take those into account. But the thing is, in terms of completeness, R9 is the most deadly forward I've seen, but he's not in my top 3 because his career hasn't panned out that way. Whereas Ronaldo and Messi have been dumpstering their respective leagues and competitions for 12 years. That's just a fact.
And what a Libra.
Okay. Let me ask this now. Which is a harder tournament to win, the Champions League or the World Cup?
Depends.
No, wait. Let me add to that as well. If
Spain
you're a
bulldozed
top
the
team, wait,
2010
chill.
World Cup,
Let
so I don't
me land. If you're a top team, okay, so you guys can't trick me now. If you're a top team, which is a harder tournament to win, the World Cup or the Champions League?
what do you mean? Like what do you mean by top team?
That's a
You mean,
silly.
like,
That's a silly question.
Okay. So it's basically, club-wise, if you're in Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. International-wise, if you're in Germany, Brazil, Spain, I'm going to put in Portugal. I might roll in with Argentina and so forth. So if you're a top team or top country, which is a harder tournaments to win, the World
think-
Cup or the Champions League.
If we had the Champions League every 4 years, I think it would be the Champions League. But the fact of the matter is, we have the Champions League every year, so you have a higher chance of winning it because you have it every year.
The truth is, it depends on the era that you're talking about. That's like the major factor here.
Like if we had the World Cup every year, most players would have a World Cup medal. Let's be honest.
Okay,
right?
okay, Abdul. In response to that, when was the first Champions League that Messi won?
Wait,
No. Just tell me, what year was that? What's
I think 06 he was a bench player.
And the last Champions League that he won? 2015. Now, how many years was it between his first and his last?
9 years.
So, a span of 9 years, he won a Champions League at the beginning of those 9 years and won a Champions League in the last of 9 years, which means that if it was every 4 years, there's a good chance that his Barcelona team would probably have defended it or won it again. So it's like that for me. That argument doesn't really work pertaining to it's every 4 years, because the reason why I say this is that, again, it's the point that I made previously, which is that in a club team, you train with these guys for the best part of a year. You know these guys inside and out. If you're going into a World Cup, you don't know these guys. Therefore, it's a degree of difficulty. And it is far harder to win because you don't know these guys that you play with week in, week out. So if something is much more difficult and you're able to shine through and be amazing at it, surely that shows your greatness. As opposed to a comfort zone which you're used to. It means that I will still give you your props. But I'm going to give more props to the guy who did something that was much more harder than something that is easier to do. All because Messi does. It doesn't mean that, you forget it. It is still amazing what he does. It is still amazing that this guy's consistency is amazing. But at the same time, it looks easy for him.
Exactly.
I want you to sweat. I want you to sweat. I want you to suffer, and I want you to succeed.
Doesn't it look easy though because he's that good? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
great players make football look easy.
But then Abdul, if you're that good, win a flipping World Cup. If you're that good, you had two chances. In a space of a year, you had two back-to-back chances to win the Copa America, and you lost twice.
Exactly.
Back-to-back.
Quick question: can anyone name one defender in that back line for Chile that Messi couldn't even score against?
Wait, Chile were a very good team. Like, I don't like these arguments about they lost.
Chile, but what Chile player? Central back, world class.
Abdul, he had two chances back to back. So it wasn't even like a 2-year streak. He had two chances back to back. 2014 final, 2015 final, 2016 final, three finals in a row.
And that's a good point, right? Because yes, I believe that you should at least win one of those. I'm not denying that, but that doesn't mean that he's not one of the best players ever. That's why I have a problem.
It's not about winning. It's not about winning.
Hold on, every time for his performances.
And his performance,
like allow it, like
you have to consider the performance.
Wait. Okay, let's ride to Rahimski.
I'm just saying, even it doesn't really like come down to winning it in a sense. It's just how you ride in the tournaments. Like let's say Robin Abdul. Do you think Robin has had a better international career than Messi and Ronaldo?
He has.
Based on his performances?
He has. What Robin did in 2014 is more than what either Messi or Cristiano have done in an international tournament. That's a fact. I will argue that forever. I don't care what anyone says. As a fact.
2014 Robin World Cup, yeah, it's probably better than any major tournament by Messi and Ronaldo.
No, but like overall, he's still.
But he doesn't sniff Messi or Ronaldo overall though. Like as players
but in terms of just that aspect of his career, he does.
Okay. Look, guys, man. That's all we have here, guys. I will see you next Sunday, man. Great discussion. Okocha is the real GOAT. Thank you. Peace.
Oh my God.